Okay. Any others? Michelle, have a seat, please. And which one? 2.
3.
I'm not doing 1. Okay, so in the future, let's not touch each other's stuff, and then we won't have that problem. So in number 2, if we're solving for b, get rid of, you could do one of 2 things. Either add b on both sides and then get rid of mx, or get rid of y and then get the b by itself. So I'll show both. So if we get rid of y, we have negative b equals mx minus y, and we would divide everything by a negative 1. If we had instead moved b by adding, then we could get rid of mx by subtracting. We would get the same thing either way, just they'd look different. Questions on that? In part 3, if we're solving this for b, we need to multiply both sides by b, and then divide both sides by d. So that those b's cancel, those b's cancel, leaving b equals m over d. Questions there? Yes?
Why can't we multiply by m?
Because that would give you m squared. And then b would still be in the denominator. Okay. 4 is like your delta math problems, where you have 2 c's and you're trying to get the c's by itself. So we would take the c out of it, put parentheses, and you're putting whatever's left. So this would be 1, then this would be r, and we could divide both sides by 1 plus r. So the 1 plus r is cancelled, leaving p over 1 plus r equals c. Questions on that one? Okay. Look at your course calendar. Yes. It may still be back here on this desk. So notice that there are 2 quizzes, a test, and a summative activity. Because we're going to go through 3 objectives, quiz and test like normal, then do the last objective and quiz, but then do a project for that very last objective. The last flex day is the last day of the quarter, but that will mainly be for last minute retake stuff for unit 2 and 3, but mostly this stuff, because all of this stuff is going on quarter 2. So after your grades, after I finish grading your tests, any retakes you do for unit 2 and 3, we have one more formative that's going to go in this quarter, your grade will stay the same. Questions about that? Yes.
You're not going to add anything else in this quarter?
One more formative, that's it. So if you need to retake, finish tests, you need to do that as soon as possible. The quarter ends in a few weeks. So you don't have that much time. Okay. And then very briefly, we're going to start these notes, but not do very much with them. So this first part is a lot about writing in different formats, from different equations, from graphs, from points, from other things. So today we're just going to talk about how to write an equation from a graph. we have to identify the slope and the y-intercept. And then we're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form, which is what? Y equals mx plus b. So in example 1 and 2, it gives you a line for m and b and then the equation, and then the rest don't. You can still do that. So for number 1, it's a little blurry, but look to the best of your ability. Where does this cross the y-intercept? We'll start there. -3. And then there is another point right here. What is that slope? 3. 3 over 1, which is simplified to 3. So then we would write those in that y equals mx plus b, y equals 3x minus 3. Robert, did you have a question? 1, 2, 3. Addie, you had a question? Okay. Alright, let's do number 2. What is that y-intercept? 2. And then there's a point right here. What is that slope? But negative, because it's going down to the right. So what would that equation be? Y equals -3 over 2x plus 2. We'll do one more. Now this one doesn't have those lines, but you can still write that off to the side. What's the y-intercept for 3? 2. And then there's a point right at the arrow. What is that slope? 2 over 5. So that equation would be 2 over 5x plus 2. Are there any others you want to see, do, go over, have questions about on this page? Or the back? Okay. If not, we're going to move on to this page, where we've talked about horizontal and vertical lines, the slope of them, how to graph them, but not how to write them. So our Hoy-Buffs comes back into play. Horizontal lines have 0 slope and our y equals. Vertical lines have undefined slope and our x equals. So if we have some vertical line, we're going to look at where does that line cross the x-axis. And because it's an x equals, where does this cross the x-axis? 3. So this would be x equals 3. The next one is a horizontal line. So it's a y. So we're going to look at where does it cross the y-axis? -1. So that would be y equals -1. Try the next 6 really quickly. So there are 2 of them that kind of you can't see, but number 3 is at the bottom, and number 5 is on the y-axis. Questions on any of those? That's all we're doing today. There is a dust mask on this that's due next Friday. So you could start that if you want. But I'm going to let you grab phones early today. And put your names in the bin because we're going to draw names. That's what